Welcome to Mobick Explained, your gateway to the Mobick ecosystem. In the previous video, I talked about his prices as an investor, but this project goes way deeper. This time, I'll go back to his philosophy and try to explain why the Mobick project team attempts to engage established companies in their business. What is Bitcoin? Can you answer that question? It's not easy. I know because I've tried. Imagine explaining what an automobile is to a 19th century horseman. For your information, the first automobile came out in 1886. And what about the internet? How would you have described it to someone in 1988? We can't answer these questions correctly because we can't see beyond our own experiences. Captain Ahab, the creator of Mobick, says Bitcoin is the most important intellectual phenomenon today. I agree that is one of the best short answers for what Bitcoin is. To explain the BTCMobick project, I need to add a few things to that. Bitcoin was created by libertarians who resisted government control. They ensure the Bitcoin network is decentralized so that individuals can take control. Bitcoin maximalists like Jimmy Song, Andreas M. Antonopoulos, and Max Kaiser still hold on to their libertarian principles and dismiss anything other than Bitcoin. But what about Vitalik Buterin? Since parting ways with the Bitcoin libertarians, he has been preaching the importance of consensus and decentralized decision-making within blockchain communities. He advocates for a governance model that includes open dialogue, community participation, and decision-making through consensus mechanisms. If you call Bitcoin maximalists anarchists, Vitalik Buterin is an idealist. Let's go back to the year 2000, when the world had just survived the Y2K bug scare. People were carrying bulky phones, MP3 players, and PDA devices. Some early adopters began carrying expensive touchscreen gadgets. Everyone knew that the internet and the internet-connected devices would change lifestyles and work environments in the future. Tech companies tried to outdo each other by developing new apps and devices. Then, in 2007, Steve Jobs made all their efforts in vain by unveiling the iPhone. Here's another thing. Most people love to be at the center. If they can't be at the center, they try to be close to it. From ancient Stonehenge to modern-day megacities, Homo sapiens show that they like to gather together and stay at the center. It's fundamental human nature. And you can see evidence of it everywhere. Ask anyone around you to choose between an urban residence and a lonely palace on a desert island. What does it mean? It means that decentralization goes against basic human nature. I understand why Hal Finney and Nick Szabo try to create decentralized cryptocurrency, but it's unclear whether the ideas will remain intact in the future. Even before 2007, there were libertarians, idealists, and countless other stakeholders who fiercely debated what was right for the internet. They held different views on how the internet should be governed, regulated, and used. They invested a significant amount of money and effort into what they believed to be true. Where have they gone? What they are doing now? Giants like Apple and Google reaped the rewards of what countless others sowed, and many were left with nothing. They say history repeats itself. I can't pinpoint when it will happen, but it's inevitable that another Steve Jobs will emerge soon. When it happens, It won't matter whether you follow the principles of libertarians or idealists. What will matter is who's the last one standing. Captain AI predicts it'll be one of these three: Google, Apple, or Samsung. Google practically owns the internet, and both Apple and Samsung have their mobile gadgets scattered across the world. Apple is steps ahead of others because each iPhone and iPad can become a small Bitcoin bank. A farmer in rural Kenya can send and receive Bitcoin with a businessman in Germany with no middleman. The transaction is completed via their iPhone in the blink of an eye. Samsung also has potential with their Galaxy devices. What they need to do is set up a Lightning node in each country and become a hub, which will bring consistent profits. If Samsung does this, they will have to share their commission with Google because they use Google's Android operating system. Still, it's obviously a great opportunity for a mediocre company like Samsung. In a sense, Apple has become the Orwellian big brother it once claimed it wanted to destroy. However, I don't think Steve Jobs agonized over it before he passed away. What mattered to him was creating a company that stood at the intersection of technology and the liberal arts, a company that could last for generations. If the future is set for the blockchain sphere, BTCMobick will strive to secure a firm foothold by integrating itself with a global company that is ready to dominate the world, whether libertarians and idealists like it or not. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned and stay excited. Mobic Probe signing off.